So, hey, tell me who Saint Charbel is, because I have some Maronite friends who would just slap me across the face like your mother did to you if I said, who is Saint Charbel? Because
yeah, that's terrible.
But you're named after him?
Yes, I am. I actually, there's an interesting story in the book. My mother was 4 months pregnant, and she was bleeding heavily. And the thing is in chapter one of the book, and the doctor told her, look, I'm sorry, Mrs. Raish, you're going to lose this baby. You know, I don't recommend you continue with this pregnancy. Basically saying, you know, terminate the baby. And my mum said this, she just said, no way, I'm not going to do that. She turned to Saint Charbel and said, Doctor of Heaven, that's what you're the doctor in heaven. Please pray for this child. If he survives, I'll name the child after you, boy or girl. And I'll dress the child in a black robe like you. So that night, the bleeding stopped. Now, she believes Saint Charbel pretty much answered that prayer, or prayed, and God answered the prayer. I've got to get that right. And I was born, and the doctor was he was amazed that I survived. And she went straight to the church after the hospital and dedicated me to Saint Charbel. And I got baptized, confirmed there, and later on married there, and then baptized a few children there. It's been amazing. Fantastic. It's been a big part. Met my wife there, so all that stuff. But who was he? He was a hermit from Lebanon. 1898 he died. Now he wasn't really he Joseph was his name growing up, and he always had this devotion. Like he would have a little shrine out in the field, and he'll go out and sneak off and pray near a cave. And so apparently when he was really little, it was a cheeky boy. He was naughty. But then as he grew up, he found his faith and would pray a lot. And then he wanted to join. It was a poor family, and he was supposed to continue the family business, but he had a desire to join the monastery, and he did. And he became a monk. I can't remember how many years, but maybe 16 years, if not more. He then asked to be a hermit, and then he then went out to a hermitage, lived by himself in solitude, and lived a very simple life. There's images of him with his eyes closed or looking down, because he practiced custody of the eyes, and he made a vow never to see his mother again until heaven. And there was a story, she wanted to see him in the monastery, and he wouldn't see her, but he spoke to her through the grill, and she said, won't you see your own mother? I'll see you in heaven. Please pray for me, and I'll pray for you. Let's get to heaven. I'll see you in heaven. So this real desire to get to heaven. And it was similar, I guess, the LMO, the Lebanese Maronite Order, similar to the Benedictine idea of work and pray. And so he would work in the fields, and he'll get tempted all the time, and he would fight off those temptations. But there was another little funny story where these young boys wanted to trick him, because at night you would have these wax lamps, and you would light them up so you can continue to pray. And he asked them to get the wax lamp, and they filled it up with water. They gave it to him to play a trick on him, and he just lit it, and it lit up, and they were like, oh, that was a miracle. The superior came in and sort of, they said, who is this man? So in his life, though, relatively unknown. When he died, only 3 people at his funeral.
Wow.
But because a patriarch passed away as well, and his funeral's on the same day. But relatively unknown. But after his death, here's the funny thing. He's known around the world now. In Russia, in Mexico, across South America, Australia. My goodness. The amount of miracles attributed to his intercession is in the, I would say, tens, if not hundreds of thousands. The amount, because if you can go to his site in Lebanon, you can see all these letters from all over the world, and there's heaps of them, people writing, and thanks to his intercession. And when the miracle when he died was that it smelt like roses, and he had this oil that came out of his body, and people would bottle it up, and it was like had a healing element to it. But then when he was incorrupt for 50 years, so he's one of the incorruptibles, and they exposed his body, and then when he was beatified, it started to ooze oil. So then they put him back into what do you call it, a boat? It was not a typical coffin, but I don't know even what you call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like a coffin, and it's in Anaya now, and you can go there, and Yeah, he got canonized in 1977, and he's been a real role model of prayer, fasting, fighting off temptations. Turned to him to heal people, and he's healed many people, and including me. I'm here because his intercession.
Charbel.
Yes.
Sweet, man.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.